Hey Merfolk fans, I'm Joe. Thanks very much for joining me. I just finished the second match of this friendly modern 5-match league. Round 1 was against Suicide Zoo and I won 2-0. Round 2 was against Jund and I won 2-0. So pretty smooth sailing so far. I've been sitting here waiting for the opponent for a couple of minutes now. This is probably as long as it's ever taken. 654 active players, and looks like we found an opponent for our third match. I won the die roll, so pretty good luck so far with the die rolls. You know, I think that the die roll is super duper important in most modern matchups. Actually, sort of absurdly important. So I do want to play first. This is a solid, a little bit unstable hand, but it's solid. I'm going to keep. Opponent kept as well, so we'll open with Mutavault as our only land into AEther Vial. Blue source off the top would turn this on. It would make it an excellent hand. Spreading Seas, the opponent's land on the play. Gonna go ahead and crack that, give me a target for Spreading Seas. Is this Infect? Yes it is. We've got a bounce spell, we've got a Harbinger, we've got an AEther Vial. Our AEther Vial is probably going to be good. They don't run any artifact destruction in the main. Sometimes, I guess, Viridian Corruptor, but that is usually sideboard tech, I think. Most lists don't run it in the main, as far as I understand. So another AEther Vial is actually quite good. It's actually super good. So we're going to eventually hit another blue source, or a blue source, and we can play this Echoing Truth. So let's hope that he plays out another Glistener Elf. We've got this Cursecatcher hidden here. We'll see if he goes for some pump effects. Cursecatcher might get to do his job. Two forests. What are we doing here? Begin combat. Should I block or should I not block? I think I'm not going to block. Let's see what he does. Do it. Kick that Vines of Vastwood. And I'm going to counter it. That's pretty sweet. And we get to bounce this guy with the Harbinger of the Tides. So things going our way so far. Let's say yes here, and then yield to this thing all the time so we don't have to click too much, and say yes. Alright, so no blue source, but it's fine because we've got these two AEther Vials. We do want to use it. We're going to play the Harbinger, and we're going to bounce that guy. Let's yield to this, and say yes. And alright, playing the tempo game. Countering spells with Cursecatcher and bouncing creatures with Harbinger of the Tides. Next turn I'll be able to get 2 Lords down. He plays an Inkmoth Nexus and a Glistener Elf and pass back to me. Let's see. I do want to use it here. 3 and 2. So pretty potent stuff. However, we really want a blue source to turn on that Echoing Truth. We can attack and then flash in some Lords. We got blockers for the Glistener Elf, but not for the Inkmoth Nexus. Alright. Yes, reach in. Yes. Lord in. Okay, he better win this turn. Should be extra tricky for him if I had a blue source, but right now I guess he's got to activate, have another land, and a couple of good spells. Well, he's got the land. It's totally reasonable that he could have this here. This is a situation where Echoing Truth would be better as Vapor Snag because it could interact with Inkmoth Nexus, even though we don't have blue mana anyway. Vapor Snag would just be better here. It looks like he's confused about this. He might have it become immense. Get out of here. Well, that'll do it. We did our best. I think I played it correctly. He didn't have the Inkmoth Nexus out when I deployed the Harbinger with AEther Vial, and we typically want to use it on our turn. So he got there. That's what Infect does. I don't have Dismember. I don't have blue mana. So Infect got there. First game loss of the league. So we're going to bring in our 2 Dispels. We're going to bring in our 3 Tidebinders. Kira can be decent as an aerial blocker, but typically a little bit clunky, right? We have Spreading Seas to deal with that, and they're not trying to kill our creatures. So Kira can come out. Master of Waves is a little heavy since the matches go so fast. Cursecatcher, Dispel, Vapor Snag, Echoing Truth, Silvergill, Harbinger. All this stuff is solid. This is the plan against Infect. Negate being a little bit too clunky. Being on the play, we're going to hope to develop an early advantage with our creatures. I would like to play first. Yeah, we'll keep this. So, Island Vial. Pass. And depending on the guy's development, I might leave the Harbinger back a little later this game. We'll see how it goes. Okay, there's that Glistener Elf. Auto yield. Yes. Reejerey is a little clunky. So I got a Mutavault here. Cast Silvergill. And reveal the Reejerey. Yield to this stuff. Okay, well that's decent. So he knows about the Reejerey. Let's move this over here so we remember. Next turn we'll be able to Harbinger or Lord. See how it goes. I'm going to block this Glistener Elf. If we block a Glistener Elf, then he has to use a pump spell, so the Glistener Elf doesn't die, and in those situations the pump spells just become sort of kill spells. This is actually pretty bad for us because he can make his creature into a 2/3, which has profitable blocks against a 2/1. So I'm back to not blocking, actually, I think. It's tricky. It's tricky. Because he doesn't have to even spend any cards to use this effect here. So we got him with AEther Vial this time. Maybe he'll play around it this time. We got him with Cursecatcher in the first match. So let's see. Goes to 2, buffs him. We've got the Harbinger in reserve. I think I'm not going to block here. Yep. You going to play around the Cursecatcher or no? Okay. Well, that's interesting. He might have another protection spell in his hand, but using a protection spell aggressively like that, it's a good sign. Might not be the most savvy opponent. Let's see. Shouldn't talk garbage, though, because we're on the back foot here. So we have the potential to develop a ton of power on the board over the next couple of turns. I think I'm going to use this opportunity, like I did last time, to bounce this guy now. I'll play out Reejerey, and then get another Reejerey on the board, and we'll have a lot of power. I'm going to swing for 3 now. He'll be at 14. And then the following turn, the creatures are going to have... Well, hold on. Let me go ahead and do some of this stuff. I'm going to say, okay. Go to attacks. Blocks. Okay. So now I'm going to bounce his Glistener Elf. Next turn, I get to get 2 more buffs, plus attack with Mutavault. It should probably be enough, I think. Yep, let's use that ability. I like that ability. So it's going to be 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Well, that's enough by itself with Island Walk. Say okay. Okay. We are going to tick our AEther Vial up. Get a second Reejerey on the board. Spreading Seas decent. Play a land. Reveal the Reejerey. Deploy the Reejerey. At this point, yeah, we can just turn his Pendelhaven into an island after playing the Lord. We are going to untap this, and then we're going to untap that. Say okay, and yes, okay, and yes, and then okay. All right, just for fun, add that over there. He's thinking pretty hard about it. Okay. 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 Tidebinder Mage. Probably not going to be necessary. He's tapped out. We're going to activate Mutavault. Going to go to attacks. And he doesn't have Dismember or anything since he already activated Pendelhaven. All right, attack. That's 10, 14, Overkill, 19. All right, that's it. Possible he doesn't realize I have Island Walk yet. Concedes, and we got game 2. So we'll take it to a game 3. We can reassess our sideboard strategy based on what we saw. Just a Glistener Elf that game. The Tidebinder we drew at the end of the game would have come in handy if it was necessary. Pretty clear this guy's solid in this matchup. Vapor Snag, awesome piece of interaction. Echoing Truth a little clunky, doesn't work on Inkmoth Nexus, but still valuable as a way to interact with their super aggressive creatures. Dispel, great. And we took out, so let's see again, that's 3 Tidebinders, 2 Dispels, and we took out the 4 Masters and 1 Kira. So 5 in, 5 out. Lowered our curve, so we end at 3 now, so we should hopefully be able to play all of our spells. Master Wave just a little bit slow in the matchup. All right, let's go to game 3. This is really solid. It doesn't oh, this is super duper solid. All right, we're gonna keep 2 blue sources. Glistener Elf is okay. 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 Another land does not hurt either. So we can play an island. So the question here is we have so many good options. If he attacks and we see that this guy is willing to go all in on his taps, if we play Cursecatcher, he's just gonna like sit back on it. But we can get him to overextend and we can just Vapor Snag. So I think I'm just gonna pass here. And then if he plays him again, I'll just play Tidebinder. Feeling pretty comfortable here behind this island. I mean, our clock is pretty slow. There's an Inkmoth Nexus, so might want to hold the Vapor Snag for that guy. Not going to block here. So do we try to Vapor Snag him now? No, I don't think so. We're going to Vapor Snag this guy. So we know that one of his 5 cards is a Blighted Agent. So that increases our clock. And at this point, we can play the Tidebinder, I think. Sure. Or just Harbinger. Hold on. Plays a Harbinger, and then next turn I play out a Master. He needs to redeploy one or not, you know. Maybe it doesn't make a big difference. Harbinger can come in handy at instant speed against Inkmoth Nexus, so I think Tidebinder is the way to go here. So lock this guy down. Hopefully he's short on lands. We'll see how it goes. Another Inkmoth Nexus. Okay. Well, that's excellent. We only we're only at 2 poison, so maybe he doesn't have the best pump spells right now. I'll say okay. Drew a land for our turn, which is good. We need to have some options. I'm going to play out a Lord, or do I? Yeah, a Lord, and leave up mana for Dispel, I think. I mean, Cursecatcher could be enough, but we don't want to chance it, I don't think. Better just to have Dispel, I think. And next turn we can leave up 4 mana for Harbinger, I guess. We'll see how it goes. So we'll go to attacks. Opponent's thinking. Let's attack with this Tidebinder. What's happening here? Green mana. Taking some... Oh, he's trying to dismember my Lord. So I think he took 4 life for that. Dismembering the Lord is really interesting. Like, why not dismember the Tidebinder? Do I want to dispel this now? Or do I care? I don't think I care very much about this. He's still going to take 2 more. No, I don't think I care about this. So, and letting him kill the Lord sort of represents that we don't have protection. So it makes him that much more likely to sort of go in on this turn. We still got the opponent down from 17 to 11 that turn, with him having used the... Okay, so he's activating the Inkmoth. Playing a Noble Hierarch. Okay, well there's nothing we can do about that. We are going to take 2 poison this turn. So possible that I should have dispelled the Dismember, but for all I know, he has Groundswell or any other pump spell. So we have Harbinger at instant speed here. We can also just get a Cursecatcher onto the table. I think he didn't play a land last turn. He did play the Noble Hierarch, and he hasn't been playing pump spells. So it makes me believe he's got these like double like a Vines of Vastwood in his hand. He needs 2 mana for it. If he wants to go in on it, he's going to have to commit, I think. Let's see. I think I have to go to attacks. Probably not going to block with the Noble Hierarch. Second main, yeah, we're just going to pass here. I wish I had like 1 more mana here. It's alright, so he's activating this thing. Beginning of combat. I think I take the 2 if that's all he's bringing. So he's just passing here. Do we get the Harbinger out and make him waste? If he has Vines, that means he's swinging for 6 here, which is lethal. So we have to just take it, I think. Oh, he's going for it. Mutagenic. So that would make it... let's see. It's 2 currently, right? And then... if we go for it, we lose. If he has the pump spell, so we have to take it. Oh, this is rough. Oh, this is the Blighted Agent now. And it can attack with... So I think we need to bring in... If we draw an Island Walk Lord, we win. Let's bring in the Harbinger here. Or not. Let's see. Yeah, we have to. To bounce this thing. He can replay it though. Maybe not the best. Maybe not the best, but I need a creature on the board to attack next turn. Plays it out again, and yeah. Aether Vial doesn't really get us there. Well, this is unfortunate. Man, I probably should have bounced the Hierarch. Man, sorry about that. I think I made an error there. So, play out Cursecatcher. And unfortunately, we haven't really drawn Lords, so... Little silly bouncing the Inkmoth. I should have thought for like 2 more seconds. I would have made a different decision, I think. The smart play is to block here with the Blighted Agent, because Vapor Snag wins. Very good. I'm happy that he did that. So, unfortunately, yeah, we're up against the wall. He's got this Exalted, and there's nothing I can do about it. I could have bounced the Hierarch, but he could have played it again this turn anyway. Alright, I think that's going to do it, guys. I don't know that I had a line that game, given the cards that I drew. I drew 5 lands, which is a little bit too much. Okay, as I explained, I couldn't have really bounced the Ink Moth during combat because if he had like a Vines of Vastwood, it would have been lethal on the spot in response to my attempt to bounce it. So yeah, please leave comments. Let me know if I could have done anything better, and I'll see you guys in the next match. Thanks.